CapCut is no more. CapCut is banned. I know TikTok is back, but CapCut is no more. So if you're a small creator, I have a few alternatives that might suit your needs. And then at the very end of this video, I'll let you know what I'm finna do. All right, so check this out. I am a strong believer of CapCut. I paid, what, $150 for the whole year. And then guess what? A couple weeks later, it's banned. I can't use it no more. So me being a man that's not very technical, I'm not very smart when it comes to the computers and stuff like that. Here are 3 alternatives that might suit your needs. They definitely don't suit my needs. Starting off with number 1, Adobe Premium. Now, I've heard a lot about Adobe Premium. I'm just not that kind of guy when it comes to the price. I hear it's pricey. I don't know if that's for me. It might be for you. I know that's not a lot of help, but that's the only alternative information that I got with Adobe Premiere. And then you got, what is it? DaVinci Resolve. That's another thing that it's just above my head. And then you also got VPNs. You can change your VPNs. Now, I don't know where you're at in the computer world with the internet game, but your boy right here is nowhere near able to change my VPN and to feel confident in doing so. So I'm just not even going to do that. So if any of those suit your needs, Adobe Premium, DaVinci Resolve, or changing your VPN, then roll with it. But stick to the end of the video and I'll let you know what your boy is about to do. But I got a real quick story I got to tell you. Now, this story is about my dog. And if you're a dog lover, this is going to resonate with you. But if you're not, then hey, you might as well just head on out here right now. But also, this isn't just towards dog lovers. This is for cat lovers, any kind of pet lover. This story is for you. Now, a few years ago, I got a dog, a Labradoodle. Now, this mother effer was crazy, but awesome. I'm gonna give you some further background story. Before I picked him up, this was about 3 days before I picked him up, I was out here in Idaho at a very wonderful ski resort called Tamarack. And I was there with my friend DJ, one of my skydiving friends, and my wife. And we were just shredding the mountain, right? I was going hard. I felt like I was Shaun White. They called me O'Shea Black. You know what I mean? I was out there really getting it. And unfortunately, I fractured my ankle. You know, long story. Yeah, I don't want to tell you that story. Anyways, I fractured my ankle and I was limping. And it was a rough couple of days, say the least. But when I was picking up my Labradoodle, we got to the house and the lady told us that, he's an active Labradoodle. He's in a kennel a lot. And unfortunately, we don't have enough time to give him the outdoors playtime that he so deserves, right? And I was like, okay, cool. I've heard this story many a times. I'm a dog lover. Let's get it, right? So Nipsey comes out of the kennel, runs, gives me some love, and then runs straight out the door, right? So now I'm limping because I fractured my ankle snowboarding, and he runs behind these houses, and I was like, oh, dang. Well, she wasn't lying. He's very active, and I might not even have the dog I came here for anymore, right? So I go around these houses, and he ends up coming to me, and I grabbed him, little dude, come over here, kind of, type of time. I grabbed his collar and I ended up going back to the lady. I was like, all right, I'm taking him. He's mine. So gave her the little rehoming deposit, whatever you want to call it, right? And he was our homie. He was our friend. He was our family member. He was an Abney. That's my last name. He was an Abney. So wonderful dog. And for a couple years, he was a menace. He was ripping up stuff. He was just a very, very rambunctious dog. Wonderful dog. And he had a very good life. He ended up getting struck by a car and passing in my arms. And the reason why I'm getting a little choked up about it is because I'm just very happy for the time that we had. And instead of crying for the time we don't have, I'm smiling for the times that we had. And it's just very awesome because during that time, I was so heartbroken because I had lost my best friend that I really didn't know how to operate, right? And if you know anything about me, what I do is I help high achieving men manage and overcome fear that's holding them back personally and professionally, right? Because when when you have things that are holding you back, you don't show up for yourself, nor do you show up for the people around you. So I understand how important it is to have a support system around you. And during this time when my dog died, I felt alone. But really, I wasn't alone. I had a bunch of people around me supporting me, and they were my biggest fans the whole time. The biggest mistake at that time is I didn't reach out for help. I didn't accept the help that was coming my way. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I could have been in a better position if I would have accepted the help that was giving to me. But I was just too much of a man. I was too heartbroken, and I was holding my feelings down too much. And if you're in this position, if you feel like you've encountered a very hard life-changing circumstance to where you're not opening up about yourself and you're holding a lot of emotions back, I just want to tell you that it's okay to be vulnerable, especially if you're a man. And those people around you, they want to see you succeed, and they want to see you do better mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So don't feel like you need to be alone. The lone road isn't for everyone, and it's especially not for men who want to overcome and manage fears that are holding them back. And John Maxwell said, if you want to go far, John Maxwell said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So if you're feeling like you're stuck, reach out to your community. Because I did that, and guess what? They didn't just lift me up. They brought me to the freaking sky. They lifted me so high up that I can't even talk about how much that meant to me in that time. Don't suffer in silence. And now that brings me to my next story about skydiving. Yes, I am an active skydiver, and I love skydiving with a passion. And if you know any of my last videos, then you know that your boy gets down. And if you want to go skydiving with your boy, let me know. Shoot me a DM, because I will be taking people this year. Yeah, your boy will be strapping people up. Whoop up, with the different hand, you know what I mean? With my other hand. And we'll be going skydiving. And check it out. Skydiving is such an amazing sport, hobby, whatever you want to call it. It opened so many doors to my life that I would have never knew were doors. You know what I mean? Especially growing up from the neighborhood I grew up in. And it wasn't a bad neighborhood. It just was the circumstances that I was in. And that's a whole different story. But the story is skydiving. This is back to my main topic of a community, right? The skydiving community is a very special and unique community. And the best way I can describe it as school. It's literally just school. You got your jocks, you got your rich kids, you got your goths, you got your smart kids, you got your outlanders, you know what I mean? And it's pretty cool. But more of the story, it's such an action-based activity that your life is definitely on the line, to where you build a connection with different groups, you know what I mean? So when I'm talking about community, I mean, there was this one time where I was going through skydiving. I had, I think, like 220 jumps, and I was out there in Oregon, Bend, Oregon to be exact. And I was out there for work. I used to work for a plant company where I would work 6 months on and 6 months off. Best job I've ever had. And during this time, I would drive a big box truck full of vegetables, and I would drive through Central Oregon up to the Tri-Cities of Washington area. Now, when I would go to the Tri-Cities area, I would leave my vehicle back in Oregon. This specific weekend, I had left like all of my clothes and my skydiving equipment inside my vehicle. That weekend, my car had gotten broken into. Now, I take full accountability, and I should not have left expensive equipment in a vehicle, but hey, you live, you learn. More of the story, they took my stuff. They took they took my stuff, and I was lost in equipment. And when I went back to my home drop zone, I was low on funds, I was low on equipment, I was low on everything, right? Your boy was down bad. And one of my friends, Kirk, and I call him a friend because he's more than just a person that's in my life for this season. He is someone that has lifted me up and has had my back in so many different times. and you guys will learn about Kirk. And I'm going to actually make a whole bunch of videos about Kirk and his family and how big of an influence that they have on my life and my family's life. So Kirk noticed that I was low on equipment, and he stepped up and he said, you're not feeling to do this. You're not feeling to go through this sport that you love so much without the right equipment. Here you go. And he bought me some equipment. Now, did Kirk have a lot of money? Who knows? Who cares? But did Kirk put his hand out there and try to help me out with the best that he could? Yes, he did. And there's people out there for you. There's people out there for everyone, as long as we're looking, right? Now, I'm not saying Kirk was a stranger. I'm saying that Kirk was a person that was so engaged in my community. I have built so much trust in Kirk that he was able to believe in me. He was able to give me something that he probably wouldn't have given other people. So that's what I'm saying. A community is important. It takes a village for people to thrive in this world. So there's people around you right now that will help you out. But sometimes you just have to ask for that help. Sometimes they're not seeing what you're going through. So you just have to be yourself. Show up true and authentic, and don't hide anything. Now, I'm not saying don't hop on social media and go out to the world and say, oh, I'm dealing with this, please help. No, I'm saying everyone's going through some trials and tribulations. So if you show up like yourself and understand that people have either gone through what you're going through or are currently going through what you're going through, then you'll be able to understand that they will understand you. If that wasn't too much mumbo jumbo, and it hopefully didn't go straight over your head. But seriously, man and ma'ams, seriously, a community is so important. Now, this is my last story for this, and this is just going to wrap up how important a community is. Now, I told you about Kirk and how he helped me out with skydiving, and I told you about my dog and how when he passed away, my community lifted me up and they held me tight and they made sure that I was okay. All of those people have came from this one location I'm about to explain to you. This location is in Meridian, Idaho. It's closed right now. But back in 2016, it was flowing with positivity. And this was the year that I joined this group training facility. Now, for my last story, this is when I joined a group training facility called Dream Body Fitness. Now, this transformed my life. Without this gym, I would not be anywhere close to the man I am today. And I want you guys to know that. Now, this gym wasn't like any other gym. And I didn't just stumble across this gym. My brother told me about this gym. Back in 2016, unfortunately, I did something I never wanted to do. I got a DUI. Yes, I got a DUI. To be honest, it was a very good thing to happen because no one was hurt. I was okay. And the most important thing is I didn't hurt anyone else. But I learned a very important lesson, that I have another chance and that the people around me won't give up on me, right? I was so hurt that I got this DUI. And I'm not saying that, oh, you should be worried I'm so sorry, O'Shea. No, I deserved that DUI. And I'm so very glad that the Lord was able to put me in a situation that I didn't hurt anyone else, but I was able to take full criminal responsibility for my actions. It was amazing because, like I said, that wasn't my first time drinking and driving. So that was my last time drinking and driving. Without that time, I might have killed someone. I might have killed myself. And I'm very glad that that time happened. Now, my brother told me about this group training facility, and I was down in the dumps, and he was like, hey, just pull up to this gym. We're super positive. They're super positive. Don't bring headphones because we listen to music over like an intercom, like over some speakers, and we all just vibe together. And I was like, interesting. That's a little weird. Like, I might listen to different music, you know what I mean? Who says that we all need to listen to the same music to get the same pump, you know what I mean? Interesting, whatever. I'll try it out, right? So I get there, and me being a man of a high metabolism, right? I'm not going to say that I used to work out a lot, but it would seem like I was the type to work out a lot. Didn't have the muscles to back it, but it looked like it. right? So I pulled up with my cranberry juice that I drink all the time, and I got just straight destroyed. I'm talking, there's a point during that workout where I thought I was gonna throw up, and it was burning because I was drinking cranberry juice the whole time. And at the end of the workout, these trainers, because it's a group training facility, so there's trainers there all of the time, making sure that everyone's having a good time, everyone's functioning adequately due to the specific workout. Like, if you have questions about this, they can answer it. If you have questions about that, they can answer it, right? So these trainers were like, yeah, man, I don't think you should drink cranberry juice and come to the gym anymore. And I was like, I think you're right. And they were like, okay, cool. Well, we'll see you tomorrow. And that's all she wrote. I was back the next day, same place, same time, different drink, right? I was drinking some water this time, and they accepted me through the doors with open arms. And they said, we're so happy that you're back. We're so happy you made it back now. Let's get to this work. And guess what? I got to that work and I continued for a couple years. Consistent. And that was the most consistent thing that I have done, or at that time in my life, that was the most consistent thing that I had done ever in my life. I have done some things for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, but a couple of years. I didn't even hold a job for more than a year and a half. But I went to the gym consistently for like 2.5, easy, happy-go-lucky. Now, here's the thing of why I was able to do it easy, is because of the community that was there. These trainers were happy to see me, and they held me accountable. So I told you I was consistent, but that wasn't because of me. That was because of the trainers. If I didn't show up, they would be the first people to be like, yo, where were you at yesterday? And then I would be the first person to have an excuse. Oh, I overslept and I was tired. But then they were the first people to call me out. Oh, that's awesome, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. You were committed to change your life physically. You wanted to become stronger. You made that commitment. It's your accountability to hold that commitment, especially to hold that promise to yourself. Now, you may look like me. You may not talk like me because I'm from Idaho, but you may feel like growing up, you didn't have someone to keep you accountable. I didn't. I had no one to keep me accountable. So when this happened, it was definitely a culture shock. And I felt like these guys were more invested in me than I was invested in myself. And for that to be something on the front of your mind, like for you to be aware of, there's people out there that care about me more than I care about myself. That's actually a huge win. It's a huge win. I continued to stay at that gym. Now, this gym continued to give me everything that I wanted. It gave me, like I said, a community. It gave me some fun, consistent workouts, and it also gave me confidence. Now, here we go with confidence. Confidence comes from doing what you say you're going to do. I was so scared to talk in front of people. I was so scared to make these videos. I'm glad I pressed start. I thought I wasn't even recording this video, but I am. But I was scared to record these videos, and Dream Body Fitness helped me because while I was a member there, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And there was a few times where these trainers asked if I wanted to become a trainer myself. I thought these dudes were crazy. I thought these gals were crazy. I was like, what do you see in me? I don't see nothing in me that can give a value here. And they continued asking. And I was like, well, shoot. My financial situation really isn't that popping. I'm learning day by day, but I could use a little bit of this, you know what I mean? So I started, and guess what? Changed me it just changed me. It changed how I look at life. These people saw something in me that I didn't see myself. So when I took that training position, I was able to give people value that I didn't know I had. These people were business owners, doctors, psychiatrists, therapists, everything under the sun we had in our gym. And these people believed in me. These people had my back. Now, I was 24 at the time. I think 23 at the time. I had dreads. I was skydiving, living life. Really had no direction. I just knew that I wanted more. These people always try to give me the helping hand. They always try to guide me down the right path. They never let me suffer in silence. They gave me job opportunity on the job opportunity. Now, that's just more of the reason why you should be a part of a community. Even though you don't think you have a story to tell, or even though you don't think you have the skills to get that job, go for it. But willpower is not enough. Willpower is good for some, but not good for all. So if you find yourself with not enough willpower, reach out to people. Have a community that is a driving force that pushes you towards your goals. That's what a community can do for you. Now, back at Dream Body Fitness, during this time, these people were giving me job opportunity on job opportunity, and I was declining them, right? Because I didn't feel like I was worth it. I was at a position in my life where I was super comfortable, extremely comfortable. I was working at a gym I loved so much, and I was also working at a warehouse that was fine. I could go there, I could listen to music, and I can get some warehouse stuff done. Like I told you, I didn't think that I had much value to give to the world, so I was an introvert by situation. And we'll get into that more, because you could be an introvert by situation or an extrovert by situation. And there's also an ambivert where you could be a little bit of both. But like I said, I got to get my lingo down a little bit more. I don't want to be coming on here and, giving the blah, 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 gabbing. You know what I mean? I want to come up here and, tell my people what it is. And I don't want to talk about that right now. We're still on Dream Body Fitness now. I was even dating girls that were like, hey, is this like the end for you? Like, is that all you're going to do is become a trainer? Now, hindsight 2020, if I would have stayed a trainer, I could have made a lot of money, especially through COVID and all this stuff. But they didn't see the vision. No one saw the vision. I was just a trainer, right? So while I was training, I was having a good time. But a lot of people were telling me like, yo, you should think about doing something else, right? This shouldn't be your end goal, right? And I was like, okay, whatever. I was thinking about doing some other things, right? And I need to stop saying right. I need to start thinking about some other things. So I was on the verge of becoming a physical therapist, becoming a firefighter. And then during the journey of like thinking about what I wanted to do, my boss, and I hope you're watching this, Chris, because I'll say this to your face. You messed up. My boss messed up. He had something very good. We had a group fitness gym that was full of positivity and community. And this was one of the first in that time. Lo and behold, 2019, we closed down due to some wrong decision making from some upper management. And after COVID, that's like the thing, online communities for gyms. Now everyone's doing a group fitness training gym. And it's like, oh man, we had something that was gold, but didn't capitalize on it. So now I don't have a job. What is O'Shea gonna do? I'm always the type to get it done. I'm always the type to make some money regardless, right? If I have to sell my body, then I'm gonna sell my body. Good thing I didn't have to get that far. One of the people that were in that group training facility, his name was Kirk. Kirk, in the last story, helped me out with some skydiving gear, right? Kirk, me and him have built such a big connection, such a strong connection during the time of group or Dream Body Fitness that he reached out to me at the time of closing down. And he said, hey, I have this business. It's a locksmithing business. I think you do good here. And I was like, locksmithing business? Sure, whatever. So I pull up. He helps me out. He's just doing an amazing job of being a boss and really looking out for me and seeing my vision and my future a little bit more than I am. Right? Another person that sees more in me than I see in myself, right? So during the time over there at Advanced Lock and Key, being a locksmith, I learned a lot about picking locks and programming keys and doing a whole bunch of things, man. These keys are expensive. I used to program a whole bunch of these keys. They're expensive. I used to cut keys. Oh, that's not even a key, but I used to cut a whole bunch of keys, man. It was actually a really fun job. And I built such a strong relationship with the boss, aka like my friend, that it was a good time. Now, another member from that group training facility, Dream Body Fitness, reached out to me after we closed. And he said, his name was Steve. He said, hey, I got this gig going on. I think you'd be interested in. And I was like, all right, I'm all about extra money. I'm still not making good enough money, still not making financial decisions or smart financial decisions. So I'm all about it, right? Hustle lifestyle. I get to him, I meet with him. This man is selling vegetable plants. And I was like, okay, selling vegetable plants. And he was like, yeah, this is a great job to have a family and have a career, even though you're gone for 6 months. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. Gone for 6 months, but it's a good job. Okay, how does this work? And he was like, well, you can make a good amount of money in 6 months and pretty much be retired and then come back, do it again. And just, this can be an awesome career. You can retire from this. And I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, but there's no spots open right now. All you can do is help me out and fix these plants, water them in these local stores that you live at. And then hopefully one day a job opens up. And I was like, all right, cool. So later down the line, I'm cutting these keys. And after I'm cutting keys, I'm going to like Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, and I'm moving these flowers and these plants, vegetables. I'm talking about zucchinis, cucumbers, all that kind of stuff, peppers, tomatoes, all that kind of stuff for Bonnie plants. Now, one day he calls me, he's like, hey, there's going to be a route opening up next year. You should become a driver. This is going to be an awesome job for you. And I was like, huh, okay, cool. Well, I'm still at this locksmith place. This guy just, kind of helped me out because the gym closed and I had no job. So I'm not just going to leave him. I'm pretty, what is the word? Like, that's not, I don't respect people that just up and leave. You know what I mean? So, what is the word for that? I don't know. Hey, if you haven't caught this, I usually don't talk to the camera this long. I usually talk to the camera very small and short, and it's like a vlogging where you see like me skydiving, base jumping, doing other things. So this long vlog where I'm just talking is a little abnormal to me. But now, Kirk and Bonnie, so the route may be opening up, in Oregon. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to leave this locksmithing job. So I talked to Kirk at the locksmithing job, and he was like, dude, this sounds like a good opportunity, bro. You should get up out of here. And I was like, whoa, get up out of here. I've always had a boss that wants me to stay at their job so that I can slave for hours and hours and make them money. But this boss wants me to leave so that I can actually make more money and so I can support my family even better. Dude, thank you so much, Kirk. That is another person that has changed my life in such a pivotal point to where, man, if you don't understand what a community means just from those stories, then I don't even know how to relay how important that message is to you. A community is everything. And now I'm just going to give you the little snippet on this plant delivering job because I'm going to make a whole different video on that. Changing to that job and moving out of the state that I was currently living in, Idaho, was a mind-blowing experience. They say you need to change your environment to change who you are, and that literally changed who I was. Now, it was scary. There was a lot of uncertainty with that decision, but that's how I was able to become the man that I am today. And that's for the next video. If you found any value in this video, please like, share, subscribe, and please put it in the comments if you like this style of video. The other videos were more of a cinematic, cooler style video, and that's the videos that I would love to make because I want to make episodes for you guys. I want to make things that you are excited to see, excited to watch, and you just can't wait, right? That's what I want to make. But unfortunately, CapCut done left me. We banned. So until they get lifted up and brought back to us, or until I get some more recommendations. So like, if you know anything else, any other platforms that's easy to jump on for like a novice like me, a rookie like me, let me know. I'm sorry, I don't have another way of making these videos cool. My way is just doing it like this. So once again, I hope I brought some value to you. And if you do like these videos, please put it in the comments. If you don't, please put it in the comments, because I will cater these videos to the style you like. I'm not going to change the message, but I will cater these videos to the style you like. I hope you guys have a good one. And role models, you know what time it is. Get up, get out, and go do some shit. I'll catch you all in the next episode.